everyone. Welcome to Arena in 30, powered by Spin Master. This is Arena Championship Series East from PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Star-studded lineup here, our first event of the season with the East Series. Let's take a look at the lineup. Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Krysten Anderson, Gravedigger, MJ Solorio, Tony Ochs, Brandon Toluchka, Michaela Toluchka, and then Hall Brothers Racing, all represented. Up first, JCB Racing. Here is your bracket. We go from round one to the semifinals to the finals, and they give out our first 8 points of the day. Let's get down to the track here in Pittsburgh for JCB Racing. First out of Illinois, Kurt Kramer in Rammunition, and he is going up against Blake Granger in Monster Mutt Dalmatian. What a season Blake Granger is having. Already winning the International Series, trying to put one away here on the East. And it is Monster Mutt Dalmatian off the chalk line first after getting the green light. Great pass there for both drivers. Clean, leaving the turning pod inside the chalk line. And Blake Granger finishes off the race. Your winner, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, advancing on to the semifinal round. Up next, MJ Solorio in year two at El Toro Loco. And he will go head-to-head with Brandon Toluchka. Just get her done. One of the rising stars in Monster Jam as well, 2024 Breakout Driver of the Year. El Toro Loco with a great start after getting the green light. But look at Brandon Toluchka. He is caught up. Look at the final turn, though, for El Toro Loco as Just Get Her Done goes sideways trying to get around the pod. El Toro Loco takes the race. And MJ Solorio moving on to the semifinals of JCB Racing. Halfway through the bracket, we come to Krysten Anderson in Gravedigger out of Kildova Hills, North Carolina. And she goes up against a longtime veteran Mark Hall in Raminator. And here we go, another great race. Krysten Anderson, Mark Hall, and Gravedigger has a lead at the halfway point. Final turn on a dime goes Gravedigger around and across the finish line. And Krysten Anderson gets the win. So Gravedigger moving on, one spot left in the semis. It's down to Tony Ochs and ThunderROARus up against Michaela Toluchka and Megalodon. Great start for both drivers. Michaela Toluchka goes wide, keeps in the race lane. Tony Ochs stays narrow. He's got the lead. ThunderROARus trying to finish off Megalodon. And in a prehistoric battle, it is ThunderROARus moving on. Tony Ochs takes the win, and he will advance to the semis. Here's your JCB Racing bracket. Monster Mutt Dalmatian, El Toro Loco, Gravedigger, ThunderROARus. The two winners of these races move on to the final round. Up first, MJ Solorio to Paso Robles, California, riding in El Toro Loco. Going up against Lafayette, Louisiana native Blake Granger in Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Granger out to an early lead, but MJ Solorio not backing down. Granger clips the pod. That's going to throw him up a little bit, and El Toro Loco takes advantage of the rare misstep from Blake Granger, so MJ Solorio gets the win, and he moves on to the finals. Next up, Tony Ochs and ThunderROARus backing off the starting line. And then a delayed start here for Krysten Anderson. She pulls into that starting space. She is at the line. We wait a green light. We got one. Final race of the semis. Winner moves up to the pod to take on El Toro Loco. Gravedigger has the lead halfway through. Final turn, drifting around goes Krysten Anderson, and Krysten Anderson finishes it off from start to finish. Great race. Krysten Anderson moving on to the final round. A great matchup this is between two young superstars. MJ Solorio, El Toro Loco will meet Krysten Anderson in Gravedigger. 8 points up for grabs. There is Gravedigger. There is El Toro Loco, two of those popular trucks in all of Monster Jam. Great start there for Krysten Anderson. Gravedigger has the lead. MJ Solorio went a little wild there, trying to get around the turn, drifting again. Krysten Anderson just avoiding the pod. And Gravedigger gets the win. What a race. What a JCB Racing bracket here in Pittsburgh. So Krysten Anderson gets the first win of the day, and she is going to get the first 8 points of the day as well as we check out our first BKT overall point standings. 8 for Gravedigger, 7 for El Toro Loco, 4 for Monster Mutt Dalmatian and ThunderROARus, 2 for Ammunition, and the rest of the field as well. 1 down and 3 to go. Pittsburgh has now become Gravedigger country, but will it stay that way? The skills challenge is next from Pittsburgh on Arena in 30, powered by Spin Master. You're watching Arena in 30, powered by Spin Master. It's Arena Championship Series East, and next in Pittsburgh is the two-wheel skills challenge. Each driver gets 2 chances to wow the crowd with a maneuver using only 2 wheels. They get 2 attempts to do so, and they are scored equally by a fan scoring system, as well as an expert judge. Up first, Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, comes right in. He's immediately going to go with the rear steer, try to crab walk this nose wheelie. We'll see if he gets into a moonwalk formation as well. Here he comes. He hits it into reverse. trying to edge it back to the face of that ramp. He has enough power to try to get this truck back, keeps it right there on the lip of the pod, and now he's going to try to gun this thing back into a flip-flop move, teeter-totters the truck, and then gets it down the pod. Attempt number 2 here for Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Again, right into a nose wheelie off the center pod. Great look at that pod. There's the 8-pack and the log buried into its 6-sided obstacles on this pod in the Arena Series. Blake Granger in complete control. He's got 20 seconds to keep this truck up at a 90-degree angle, and now he's going to edge it back again, this time going into more of a full-throttle nose wheelie, a little more power here. 1,500 horsepower going to work now in a reverse, going to flip it up again, this time too much on the throttle. He's going to go over 8.249 for Blake Granger in Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Next up, Tony Ochs in ThunderROARus. Comes right off the center pod, going to go down into a popper and then into a nose wheelie. Takes it right out onto this track. As you see that racing line there, that's going to give Tony a little more room to work with. Got to keep it in the boundary lanes, though, but he's got a good one going here. Tony Ochs just moving his way back out. And now he's going to moonwalk it back to the pod. We'll see how much throttle rhythm he gets going here. Stoppy position now, and then lands it back down. Didn't want to go back up on the ramp. Maybe we'll see that in attempt number 2, a popper for ThunderROARus. This time hitting reverse now. He's got the whole ramp in front of him. Edges it back. Perfect, absolute execution there from Tony Ochs. Dips the truck down. Doesn't lose momentum. And now he's going to keep it up and stoppy as well. May try to spin the truck around here a little bit on that pod to get the right angle. If he's going to try to flip it up into a reverse popper, we'll see it right here. Tony Ochs comes up to the ramp, guns it, and again down, greases the wheels on that ramp. 9.291. He's got the terrible towel out. He's a Pennsylvania native. And we're here at the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Here's a popper up the log stack for MJ Solorio and Toro Loco. Smoke coming out of the Crazy Bull, trying to get the fans on their feet. The judging system weighted differently this year. You have the expert judge and the fans counting for 50% of the scoring each. Try to get back up over that pod lip. Now he gets it back down. Didn't have enough on the angle, so MJ Solorio comes back again, straight across the pod. Right into a nose wheelie. Now moonwalk for El Toro Loco. All 4 BKT tires are moving on this Pittsburgh dirt. Back into reverse. Going to pop it up on a reverse popper into a wheelie. Triple combo move. And now keeps the wheelie back into a nose wheelie. How about 4 moves here? And 1 into a moonwalk. This kid is not stopping at all. And he's going to flip it up again. We've seen drivers get so good at this. Lands it back on the wheelie bar. When is it done? Finally back on all 4 tires. And a 9.392 for MJ Solorio and El Toro Loco. Put on a clinic here in Pittsburgh. Krysten Anderson on the log stack. Going to go for a popper. She tries to get one here. Not enough pop on the engine, so can't get the tires up. Attempt number 2 now for Gravedigger. Reverse popper. She does get this one. Wheelies it up. And into a popper again on the backside, able to catch it on one wheel. Cartwheel formation goes from the left front to the right front, and that is enough to take the lead. That is enough to take the win. Then Krysten Anderson doubles down. She gets 8 more points. She's got a perfect day so far. 16 for Gravedigger, 14 for El Toro Loco, ThunderROARus with 10, Monster Mutt Dalmatian with 9, and just get her done finishing right now in that top 5 position. 2 down and 2 to go. It's been all Gravedigger. We'll be right back with the second half of Arena in 30, powered by Spin Master. Welcome back to Arena in 30, powered by Spin Master from the PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's Arena Championship Series East, our 3rd competition. Monster Jam Donuts. There's your criteria: speed, style, and accuracy. And Michaela Tolochka going to come here in Megalodon to kick it off. She finds a great spot, a sweet spot on that dirt. Round and round goes the shark. And Michaela Tolochka with the steering wheel out, 8.373. Krysten Anderson in Gravedigger. They love those donuts at Digger's Dungeon. And she got up on 3 wheels here, back up on 3 wheels now, powering through the dirt. And a great donut for Krysten Anderson, 8.381. Next up, Mark Hall and Raminator with Hall Brothers Racing. And now Mark comes in. He finds that low center of gravity on the back end of that Dodge Hemi. And Mark Hall, Raminator with an 8.475. And then Tony Ochs and ThunderROARus looking for a win here in his home state of Pennsylvania. Comes in slow to start, now picking up some rhythm, picking up momentum, putting that transmission to work, putting the motor to work, and ThunderROARus thundering through the dirt in Pittsburgh, 8.583 for Tony Ochs and ThunderROARus. That is enough to get the win. So Tony Ochs with his first win of the day in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Here's your updated BKT event leaderboard: 22 for Gravedigger, 18 for ThunderROARus, 17 for El Toro Loco, and then 10 apiece for Raminator. Just get her done. And Monster Mutt Dalmatian, we've reached the final competition of the day. Freestyle, 15 seconds to get a score. Wow factor, always important. Creativity, technical moves, combination moves, maybe that 8-pack as well. Once again, the fans scoring equally with our expert judge out of Kewaunee, Wisconsin. This is Michaela Toluchka and Megalodon. Look at the end over end floater jump there. Goes trying to a stoppy moonwalk combination, and she is able to power her way up back onto the pod. Now gets a wheelie on the backside. So Michaela Toluchka putting her skills to work here in freestyle to start it off. Megalodon with a sky wheelie, gets back on a pogo bounce. Now comes in again down that center lane onto the ramp into a stoppy. Nose wheelie combination here, moonwalk combination as well, as that 12,000-pound shark stares down the dirt with those blue eyes. And now Michaela Toluchka not done yet. She's not stopping this run, keeping her momentum from one side of this pod to another, being creative. Another great jump there, gets some big air on Megalodon. Michaela Toluchka, one of the bright young rising stars, one of the bright young female superstars in Monster Jam, throwing a donut into her freestyle, and that'll do it. Here's the original super glue glued to the action replay. There's your sky wheelie from Megalodon. 7.787 will now set the pace for the rest of the field in Monster Jam freestyle. Out next, out of Champaign, Illinois, Mark Hall and Raminator. Driver's been around for a long time, debuted in 1991. He's won over 23 championships in his monster truck driving career. Debuted Raminator in 2002 and has been dominating ever since all over the globe. One of the most popular, longtime veteran drivers in Monster Jam. Raminator coming in hot on that ramp all the way across, just from one side to the other, just powering this truck up. Again, donuts, always a popular thing in Monster Jam to see when it comes to arena freestyles. Mark and his brother own Hall Brothers Racing out in Champaign, Illinois. A great independent team. You're ever in the Champaign area, driving down the highway, you might see their shop. You might see that big Raminator hauler. And you may even see Mark Hall out in the garage working on Raminator, as he's been doing this for a long time. Now Raminator swings back around, takes a side angle to come back up over the pod. Time is winding down here for Mark Hall. That'll do it. Here's the original super glue glued to the action replay up over the log stack. Sky wheelie, 6.427 is the score. Megalodon has the lead. We got a long way to go in freestyle. More high-flying Monster Jam action is next on Arena in 30, powered by Spin Master. We are back with more Arena in 30, powered by Spin Master. We are in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Freestyle continues right now. And we continue with Kurt Kramer out of Hoopeston, Illinois, piloting Ramunition. You talk about some state pride. Look at that flag behind Ramunition. Proudly representing Illinois, Chicago, that entire metropolitan area. I'm not sure the fans here in Pittsburgh are going to love that. Not a whole lot of Bears or Blackhawks fans here at the home of the Penguins. The Steelers play just across town at Acrisure Stadium. Kurt Kramer, though, an avid Illinois resident, showing his love for his home state here. 7.787 is the score to beat by Michaela Toluchka. She started the night in Megalodon with that run. It is still holding strong here, but Kurt Kramer trying to change that in Ramunition. Some of you fans may know Kurt from driving a hot seat as well. He goes back and forth with these identities. Nice wheelie combo there for Ramunition. Powering up on top of the pod from one side of the track to the other. Not a whole lot of room here, so trying to get creative as he avoids Gravedigger, throwing in a donut here, just missing the pod. And that'll do it. Here's the original super glue glued to the action replay for Kurt Kramer in Ramunition. There's a wheelie attempt, sky wheelie attempt, slap wheelie combo, 7.012 for Ramunition. Michaela Toluchka still has the lead as we've reached just about the halfway point. Here's MJ Solorio and El Toro Loco out of Paso Robles, California, second-year driver. Cut his teeth on the independent scene, made a reputation for himself, made a name for himself, got an opportunity to go to MJU, made the most of it. and then came out swinging in Duluth, Georgia, winning racing in just his third Monster Jam event. Now firmly entrenched in this El Toro Loco team. Had a great rookie season, and even better second years. El Toro Loco now skying across Pittsburgh. Goes a little sideways with some cross-threading action. El Toro Loco comes back down, hits the center ramp. And now here comes El Toro Loco with the first backflip attempt. We're going to see the 8-pack in action. There's the smoke, pushes off. A little corkscrew action goes sideways with a gator, and now El Toro Loco not done yet. Again up over the 8-pack. This time just hits that left side of it into a sky wheelie. Great combo move. There's your wow moment. And here's your original super glue. Glue to the action replay. Look at the score, 9.375. We got a new leader, and his name is MJ Solorio, El Toro Loco. Somebody's got to follow that. Right now it's Brandon Toluchka and Just Get Her Done. The 2024 Breakout Driver of the Year, slowing down up over the pod. Maybe some mechanical issues for Just Get Her Done. Second generation driver goes up over the log stack, ends up just riding across that side of that pod to try to keep some momentum here. Comes back down across again, this time looking for a popper into a stoppie. Brandon Toluchka's gotten so good at throwing these technical moves in freestyle runs. And now again, huge sky wheelie coming off the log. Just Get Her Done too, powering up, floater, brake check, slap wheelie combo into another combo move. Here's a stoppie nose wheelie combo. And now Brandon trying to hit his next obstacle. There's your floater jump, little brake check, right into a catch. Nice catch in a nose wheelie. And that'll do it. Here's the original super glue, glue to the action replay. 7.772 for Brandon Toluchka. There's your slap wheelie combo coming off the pod right into a stoppie. So combo move after combo move gives Brandon Toluchka that store. Although El Toro Loco still has the lead right now. Krysten Anderson trying to change that. Krysten Anderson trying to win the overall event championship here. She's got 2 wins already on the day. Started with doubling down JCB Racing and then into the skills challenge as well. Now Gravedigger coming down. Krysten Anderson has gotten so good at freestyle. Every Gravedigger driver, I think, is just in their blood, especially in the Andersons, coming from that Dennis Anderson family tree to just be absolutely dominant at freestyle. She is no different. Set the world on fire a few years back, becoming the first female series champion in Monster Jam history. Trying to head back to World Finals in Salt Lake City, July 4th weekend. Here comes Gravedigger over the side of the ramp and then back across, nearly clearing the pod on that jump. Log stack jump, floater, sky wheelie for Gravedigger. Comes down over the 8-pack. And now Gravedigger trying to keep the truck into that boundary lane. There's your floater, brake check jump again. She keeps hitting every obstacle with bigger air and bigger air, trying to build some momentum. And that'll do it for Krysten Anderson, the original super glue, glued to the action replay. Biggest air of the night so far for Gravedigger right there, 7.654. The lead remains with El Toro Loco. Here's Tony Ochs in ThunderROARus, Pennsylvania native, 10-year U.S. Army veteran. Tony's one of the most popular drivers in Monster Jam. He's a driver that can certainly beat that score on any given night. And you want to talk about earning respect. How about Tony Ochs, U.S. Army veteran, 4 combat deployments. Became an Apache helicopter mechanic, moved that into a career Marvel Universe Live. That's where he became a part of Feld Entertainment. And Monster Jam has earned all the respect in the world. Being a nice guy doesn't get you wins. Tony Ochs able to be nice to everybody. Fans, drivers, off the track, on the track, absolutely ruthless. And a menace showing it right now with the one-wheel stoppie. ThunderROARus powering through up on 3 wheels into a donut. Roosting the Pittsburgh dirt, round and round and round goes ThunderROARus. Tony Ochs doesn't stop at all, just finds that first ramp, goes right back over it all the way across the pod into a beautiful stoppie. Now this time goes a little bit over, able to catch it before the truck overdid it, ended up on the hood. Great save by Tony Ochs, and here's the original super glue, glued to the action replay. So 8.775 is the score for Tony Ochs and ThunderROARus, and a great run. But the lead still remaining with MJ Solorio and El Toro Loco. Here's Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian out of Lafayette, Louisiana. Front clip off the dog, tongue still hanging on. There is your score to beat, 9.375. Floater jump right in the front two wheels, right into that pod, able to bounce it off. Precision landing for Blake Granger. That could have been disastrous. He's able to bounce the tires off, regain momentum, and then another floater. This time may not be enough. He goes on the sidewalls, and that'll do it for Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Just went to the well one too many times. The original super glue glued to the action replay right here. Clips the back two wheels, just can't come out of it. Can't correct it on the sidewalls. 8.103 for Monster Mutt Dalmatian. So Blake Granger waving to the fans. El Toro Loco going to win freestyle. We got a tie at the top of the leaderboard, a three-way tie. Freestyle breaks the tie. El Toro Loco gets the win. We're going to go down to the track to MJ Solorio with Tiana Cohen in this Northern Tool and Equipment pit report to hear from our overall event champion, El Toro Loco Nation. Happy tonight in Pittsburgh. El Toro Loco getting it done. MJ Solorio takes the win.
A huge congratulations to MJ Solorio, El Toro Loco. Talk about a comeback there. Tell me about that freestyle win, taking the overall. It's got to feel so good.
Man, you know what a roller coaster of an event today was for me. You know what? Making it to the final round against Krysten and then coming to second place against Krysten. You know what? I thought she had it all the way along. You know what? These competitors out here, they're no slouches, and they don't make it easy to come home with this trophy. All those guys out there, Krysten, Michaela, the Hall brothers, they don't make it easy. But you know what? At the end of the day, I always say consistency is key, and that's what happened right there. Second place finishes, didn't do hot in donuts, but you know what? We laid down an absolute amazing freestyle run, nailed the Morgan and Morgan backflip, and she still looks pretty. A todo mi gente, te amo, eso es para ustedes. Soy el único latino aquí este fin de semana representando a todo mi gente. Te amo, te quiero, Pittsburgh. Man, this is my first time here, and we're coming home with another trophy, baby. Make sure you get the rest of your tickets. We got 3 more. Let's have some fun.
MJ Solorio coming up big, getting the win, proudly representing the Latino community. What a second-year jump this kid has had from Paso Robles, California, the California kid, making it happen with the event championship. What a fight today between Gravedigger, ThunderROARus, and El Toro Loco. Make sure you follow us on social media at Monster Jam. We'll have more from the East, West, and Central right here, so make sure you join us. That's it from Pittsburgh. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time on another brand new edition of Arena in 30, powered by Spin Master.